My name is Ronnie Cruz, and this is Path of the Network Marketer.
All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we're going to talk about why you are stuck. That's right, why you are stuck. I've dealt with this personally, of course, and I've coached people on this, well, pretty repeatedly over the years. It's something that we all experience at one point or another, or actually multiple times through our careers and through our journeys. And it's meant to be that way, right? The process is meant to be that way. I want you to realize that if there is a repeating pattern in your life, if there's a repeating difficulty or challenge in your life, that is exactly the thing that you have to face. It's exactly the thing that you have to grow through to get through to the next phase in your journey, right? And if you don't, you're just gonna repeat and continue to go through that same challenge, right? That's the ceiling I'm talking about. What ultimately happens is it ends up translating itself into your business stagnating or hitting a ceiling as well, right? Because your business doesn't grow any more than you grow, right? It only grows to your own the level of your own personal growth. And so the reason why you're stuck is caused by two things. Number one, let's talk about external factors. External factors, there can be strategies. It can be tactics are less effective. It can be, the markets and the marketplace itself is shifting. So there are definitely external factors that can affect that can limit your progress, right? And that can stunt your progress. Something happening with the corporate office in your particular company, a particular product line gets discontinued, or deliveries are completely out of whack. I was looking at this meme on Instagram, and it was like the British Post or something like that. They were backed up for I don't know, it looked like months and months. There's millions and millions of packages that were backed up over the holidays, right? So they had been inundated, and the system was just bogged down. So I completely lost train of thought of why I brought that up. Well, strategies, right? It bogs you down. These external factors happen and can slow down your progress and can create a ceiling for your business. Oh, shipping, because that happened actually during pandemic. There was a lot of the first handful of months in pandemic, the shipping. It just wasn't as efficient, and it slowed down a lot because everybody was on lockdown, and so the delays created a ceiling for progress in the business. So yes, okay. So the point is, sorry, tangents. The point is there are external factors that can affect your progress. There certainly are. Our natural inclination is to immediately look to those external factors and see what we can fix. Our natural tendency is to only look to those external factors and see what we can fix. I will say that even though external factors can cause a stunted progress and it can arrest your momentum, that at most 20%, 15, maybe 20% of the reason why you're hitting a ceiling. The other 80 to 85%, I mean, honestly, I would say 90%, but let's be conservative. The other 80% of the reason why you're stuck is you. It's all internal causes and the mindsets that you have that you're still holding on to that are actually holding you back. It can take the form of, we can just the first big one is looking to external factors as the cause of your challenges, right? As the sole reason why your business isn't succeeding or why you're not making any progress. Yeah, like I said, external factors do impact your growth. However, it's a small percentage compared to what you're dealing with inside, and that's your mindset with those things. If you're spending your time looking for fault in those external things, if you're spending time, blaming external factors, then you're spending that much less time on figuring out this. Well, that much less time in taking responsibility and then figuring out the solutions for it, right? So like that's one of the big things that holds people back, is they think that everything that is slowing them down is caused by external factors, and it's really just themselves. And that leads to kind of the more just the deeper mindset of victim mentality, right? Well, it's not my fault, right? That's kind of the more extreme side of it. It's not my fault. It was X, Y, and Z's fault. It was the company's fault. It was my upline leader's fault. It was the delay in shipping. It was the pandemic's fault. It's the this and this. And so like now you have given yourself zero responsibility in any actions. That's really, really dangerous, because then you have you're giving away your power to actually control making any changes in a positive direction. Because if everybody else externally is responsible for why you have what you have, then you can't you're literally you're telling yourself that you're not able to affect any change, basically, right? So that's one big internal work, and of course there's a lot of other things as well. There's a self-worth, low self-confidence, things that you just have to work on, that keep reappearing in different, it can reappear as different challenges dressed in different clothing, but at the root of it, it's because of the internal things that you haven't faced yet, right? Again, your lack of self-worth, your lack of self-confidence, fear of failure, fear of not being accepted, fear of success, fear of looking stupid. I mean, we've talked about all of these things before, and so yeah, that's why you're stuck, because you haven't addressed these things. And I understand why. And of course, it's not limited to just that list. But I understand why. I mean, it's easier not to face those things than it is to face those things, or it seems that way, anyways. It seems scary and daunting to admit that, okay, yeah, maybe I have more responsibility in this equation than I've allowed myself to accept. However, once you accept responsibility in the equation, if you really accept responsibility over why your business is stuck and why your life is stuck, to me, that's really more empowering. If you say, okay, my business is the way it is because of me and nobody else, then that gives you control. Right? That gives you power. That empowers you to then say, well, if that's the case, then I can be responsible for making positive changes, as opposed to leaving everything to the wind. Like I said, if it's everybody else's fault, and if everybody else is responsible for where your business is, then you have no control of where it's going to be going. Right? Admitting a responsibility, taking control of that, seems scary, but it's one of the most empowering things you can do, because then you can affect change in a positive direction moving forward. So that's my message for today. More from me tomorrow. So until then, don't be stuck, and be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.